Still 6 people here.
All right. So we are back after lunch and a refreshment. We are back. So um, let's see where we stopped before. We stopped with
API.
my computer melting.
Yeah. We need to get the.
Yeah. So let's refresh here and see that we get the real response.
No.
Oh, it still says that we're missing an attribute of subtype in content modules, line 158. Do we need this?
Just remove that line.
Self dot subtype. Yeah, let's remove this for now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna commit it, but at least let's have it working. Just to recap, if you're joining now, what we are working on is we are working on what is mockup. All right. So we are working on this app, and this app is basically submitting a form with 4 or 5 params and getting back modules, which we can then take into our marketing software and do push notifications. So we already built, the way we're working is we are pair programming in a way, and working together while I work with Stevens to get his head wrapped around React and Redux and other stuff. So thank you all for watching, and again, please make sure you like the channel and subscribe so you know when we're live again, when I'm live again. All right, so yeah, we have an API call.
All right.
All right, awesome. So now, if we go back to the module simulator and we submit, yep,
We
get
got
a 200 and we get a result back.
Fantastic.
All right, awesome. So now, what we can do is we can do something like this, right? Oh, we're in the wrong application. So now in our action of get content modules, right? We can dispatch an action, or we can dispatch an event, right? So now let's do this. Import star as action types from constants action types. All right. So here we are going to create it. Let's call it action types. All right, and then here. All right. So let's save this. Make dir. All right. Awesome. So now we are going to export a constant, and we are going to say modules received. All right. Okay. And then here we're going to dispatch a type of action types dot module received. Right.
Yeah.
And now let's look at our response to see what do we want to dispatch. So what do our response look like? It looks like result, and then result has modules. So do we need something from the result? Let's look at the API this way. Do we need something from here?
I believe so. iPad image, background image, is travel unit. I think we.
No, we don't. We just need the modules.
I think the client need this. Like, I'm not sure, but
No, we
there's
don't.
a reason that they're there.
100%. Well, the client needs it, but we don't need it for the push notifications.
Well, but that's if the client wants to open certain module, do they need those
No.
images or not?
No, so we can do this, just modules, all right? So basically we do modules and then response.modules. All right?
I have a question here. So this
Wait, just a sec. So
okay.
let's look at this now. and refresh our app. And then again, this is 142, current date is 09/30/2016. We don't have tribes. The time is 12:55 p.m. and the day of week is 5. So we're going to submit this, all right? And we see that the API worked. And now if we look at Redux, we see that we dispatched module received, right?
I don't get this dispatch part. What are we doing? Okay, so after we fetch, we call dispatch.
Yeah. And now we're going to catch this in the reducer.
But dispatch is an argument for the function.
Yeah, just a second. So, oh, it's actually response dot result dot modules. So let's do this again. Submit. We see module received with modules, which is an array.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. So now we need a reducer.
What is? Can you explain?
Yeah. So we dispatch an action. We dispatch an event. All right.
Type.
And this event has a type, which is just a string.
Okay.
All right. And then it has any number of other parameters. Right.
So is dispatch a function?
It's an event.
It's dispatch is an event.
Yeah.
But is this dispatch the same as this dispatch?
Well, this dispatch is this dispatch. Yeah. So it's being injected into this function, and then we call it.
Okay, so we call it we dispatch is being injected, and we call it here, and the action types is all.
Action type is just a way to save constants, right? It's just a way to have all the constants in one place.
Should this structure be across the entire, like all the action types should be stored in one file?
Well, you can, but if you have many, then you can store like these action types here and these action types there. And you can also have string here, you know, but I wouldn't have string here. I would like reference something that is more.
So we call dispatch with the action type, and the modules is the data that we got back from it.
Exactly. Okay. And now we are going to create a reducer. All right. Okay. And we are going to call this reducer the module reducer. RB. So module reducer.js, right? And this is a reducer. Okay. And we're going to call it module reducer. All right. Reducer. And the initial state is that modules is an empty array. All right. And then we return the state here. Okay. So now if we go back to our app, before we do anything, right? So this reducer just returns the state. Okay?
What's the state?
The state of the app. All right?
Okay.
So now inside of our root reducer, right? So we are going to import the module reducer from module reducer, and then we are going to export it here.
What is the initial state of this?
So just 1 second, all right? So so SRC reducers and then module reducer, and then action types is here. Okay, so now we are green. There is another module with an equal name when case is ignored. Oh yeah, okay. So action types. All right, so now we're green. And now if we refresh, you'll see our state of the application, if everything worked correctly. So yeah, you see we don't have a state here. And let's see why. Alright, let's refresh here. Our state still routing. Alright, so let's move this. Alright, so let's do this. SRC reducers, and we're going to call it module reducer, and we're going to move source reducers module reducer.js into reducers module reducer and then index.js. All right, and then here we can fix this, and then module reducer, the constants are another directory up. All right, just moving files. I haven't really, done anything here. So let's see. All right, so now let's restart Webpack. All right, so let's see where we are now. Okay, so we're letting Webpack get restarted, and then we'll refresh the module simulator here. And let's refresh here, and we still don't have a state here. Module reducer from module reducer returns state. So
State equals to mean is just state.
something here. All right, so this should be this.
What's the difference between those?
Well, it's a default function or not the default function. So let's see. All right, so now we have the module reducer and it has an empty set of modules.
What about the state?
This is the state. So we have a state called module reducer, and it actually should be this. So module, all right, so then modules. All right, and here we should call this modules. All right, so now the state should be modules.
So the state is just called modules.
Yeah, we have the state has a property called modules, which has an empty array right now.
Module is a property of the state.
Yeah.
This is the state of the application.
Yep, exactly.
This is from Redux, not React.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
Redux
now,
state.
so now you see when we dispatch this, right? So now here we return the state, you see?
Yeah.
So now what we need to do is we say if action.type equals action types dot module received, all right? Then what we do is we return modules action.modules. All right, so see here, if we don't have anything here, we return the initial state.
Okay.
All right, now the initial state can be blank or it can be the current state when the application is already changed.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get this type of event, all right, if this type of action, then we return modules of what we have in the action.modules. All right, so now if we go back and we say, okay, so this is the region ID, and then again 09/30/2016. No, we don't need the tribes. The time is 1:13 p.m. I guess, and then the day of week is 5. When we submit this, then you'll see module received, and now you see that the diff of the states are equal. All right, so let's see why. So module received modules response.result.modules action.modules. All right, so let's see why. All right. Oh, we need a full reload. Okay. All right, so 2 Current date is 09/30/2016. The time is 1:06 p.m. Day of week is 5. All right, so let's submit. We get module received, modules, and let's see the state.
Okay, so
now we have modules.
So basically, when we receive the data from the API, we save that data into the state of the application.
Yeah.
And a state, the module state is just one property of the state. The state can have multiple properties.
Of course.
It can save like multiple data.
Yeah, it's just one data structure.
So state is just a data structure.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting.
Welcome back, Octocat. All right, so now we are going to create this part of the application.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's do this. I don't know. Add src form component and communication layer.
Wow, this is pretty awesome. So we don't need jQuery for anything.
No, we don't.
That's one of the beauty of this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it completely gutted like entire stack of technology.
Well, you don't really need jQuery when you work with this because all the kind of all the application behavior is either directed by the state of the application or by the state of the components. So when you have that, you don't really need reference to other stuff, right?
Yes.
And all the kind of the advantage of jQuery that you can reference other part of the application, but then you couple components together, and here you don't couple components together.
Wow, this is
all right, so we are going to create a new component called come on so module list, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, or content module list. Let's call it module list. I don't like typing a lot. All right, so here so here, why did I do this? All right, so we are going to create a component module list index.js, and remember what else?
Presenter.
Presenter, that's right. Presenter.js. All right, let's create a directory. Components, or just a sec. Module list. All right, and then this is presenter. Module list. All right, and then this is comp index. What? Module list. Okay?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So kind of go back to what we talked about in the beginning, how components can have a container, which is smart component, and a presentational, which is dump component. So
yeah.
The one we just built.
No, the one we just built is a smart component.
It's a smart component,
Yeah.
but we don't have a dump component.
We don't have it yet. No, we don't have yet.
Do we need one or no?
No, we don't.
We don't really need one.
Yeah, we don't. No, not really.
I see. Okay.
Well, if you want, we can refactor. I mean, if you wanna and you think, it will benefit, then what we can do here. You know what? Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So. All right, so let's do this. So we'll look at the simulator form. All right, presenter here. And what you see is we have a lot of these.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And let's refactor this into a component.
Dump component?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? So we are going to create a component called simulatorformfield. All right? Mm-hmm. And it's going to have only an index.js. All right? So simple comp and simulator form field. All right?
Yeah.
And this form is going to have this. All right?
Yeah.
And this is going to come from the title. All right? And this is going to come from onChange func. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's src components. What did I call it? Simulator form.
Something.
All right. What did I call it? Let's see.
Excuse me.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Come on. What did I call it? Simulator form field. All right. So make clear component simulator form field. Right, now we can save this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a title, and then this is going to be the form ID, all right?
All right.
So now const title, form ID, and on text func is going to come from the props, right?
What does this mean?
So we are declaring a few constants, the title, form ID, and on text change. It's coming from the props. All right, just so you understand what this means, is basically it's going to be this. So var title equals props dot title. Var form ID equals props dot form ID. All right, this syntax is just going to have these lines.
Okay, okay. So the props means property of this component.
Yeah, property of this component.
Got it, got it.
All right?
Got it, got it.
All right, cool. So now you can do this. You can do import form simulator form field from simulator form field. All right, so do this. I'm gonna save it. All right, and here, what? Just a sec. All right, so here, now this row, we can do simulator form field. All right, and then the title is day of week. All right, form ID is day of week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on text change function equals this dot on text change, and close this, and then this. All right.
Okay.
And now if we refresh this, so day of week is another component now. All right, so we go back to React. You see simulator form field.
Ah, okay.
All right, and now if we do day of week,
Is it gonna?
it's gonna say on text change func of undefined. So this should be not this anymore. It should be on text change func.
How did you get that error message? Like,
So this is from React DevTools.
already?
Cannot read property state of undefined. Right, so all right, so E, and then what is this? No, this should be this. All right.
No,
Got it. So let's do this. Let's refresh here. See if we have anyone in the chat room. Well, we have new people, but no one is communicating with us yet. They don't like us. Okay, so let's do the module simulator and see where our problem is. All right, so come on. Let's see where the issue is. Oh, this dot state. Oh, why is this dot state not? Okay. Okay, I see the problem. So, this dot bind this. All right, so let's see if we have it okay now. Yeah, we should be. All right, so React, and then let's see, React. All right, title. And then we have the properties, and then the simulator form. All right, day of week equals 5. And if we change it to 6, it's going to be 6. All right? So now we can change all of these. All right, so this now is, what is current time? Yeah. this is time. All right, and then you can refresh and you can remove this. All right, so now
Dumb
this
question.
is a component. Right?
This is referring to component.
This file is a component or a dumb component, and this is a smart component, right? Because all this does, it says, hey, I need a title, I need a form ID, and I need an on-text change func, which is a function, right? I don't know what you do with this function, I don't know what you do with this title, I don't know where the title is coming from. All I know is that I need these three things, and that's it.
Where do we define the on-text change function? It's in the smart. It's in
Yeah, we need to define it here. It's the on-text change that we had before.
Where do we define it? Okay, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so scroll down a little bit. So just this might be dumb. So everywhere we're referring this, we're calling the component itself, right? This.
This is the component itself. This component.
Okay, this component. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And we can also do something like this. So this dot on text change equals this dot on text change dot bind this, and then here, instead of binding again, we can just bind the binded one. We could just pass the binded one already.
Got it.
Instead of just binding it again and again and again. All right, so on text change, and now you can see 5. All right. Let's see. Oh, we need to refresh because it's the constructor. All right, so I'm going to continue, and let's see, 5. All right, so now we're golden. Okay, so React, and then let's see, simulator form, day of week 5, 6, 11. All right, awesome. Time is 12:15 p.m. Awesome. All right, we're golden.
Fantastic.
So you can see this is dumb component. It does know nothing about our app. Does not need nothing about our state. Nothing.
Dumb meaning that it only concerns with itself.
Yeah. So now you see. Now think about it. You have a component that can accept a title, that has a text field, right? And you need to pass it a function. So think about it. This component can now be reused anywhere in your app, right? Because all you need to pass to it is you need to pass a title, you need to pass what's the ID, and then it can interact with your parent component, with your container, just by a function, right?
Okay.
So
that's good.
Now a good thing here is that you can also have something called a prop types. We're not going to define it here because I think it's out of context, but prop type validation React, something for you to read on after. And what you'll see is that if you define this special function called prop types, then your component can expose its own API. Right? So now you can pass anything or not pass anything to this component, right? But if you don't pass title, then this might break, and if you don't pass the function, this might break. So it's a way to expose an API, and you can also say, hey, this is required and this is not required, and then kind of expose a reusable component API. Yeah, I'm just using the form ID as a name, as a reference to some API field that I need. I'm not explicitly defining an attribute. No. I'm using it to whatever I need to construct an API call. So now that we have this, all right, we can continue with our previous thing, what was it? We created a component. What did we call it? As I see, components, modulelist, right? Here.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now modulelist here. And now let's do this, okay? So we will have a constant called modules, which is going to come from these properties, okay? And
what are we working with here?
Module list.
Okay.
Right. So now remember, first we worked with the map dispatch to props. now we're going to work with a map state to props. All right, and we are going to say that const modules equals this dot state, sorry, state dot modules. All right.
Just slow down a little bit here. So in the presenter.js, what did we do?
Well, let's remove this. All right.
Exactly.
We didn't do anything. Okay.
Okay.
We didn't do anything. All right.
Let's start with.
Forget about it. So now what is we say we declare a constant called modules, all right, which is coming from state.modules.
This is after the module's property has been mapped to the state object.
Yeah, but this is like when the app is started, we already have
we already have.
Yeah.
But this is empty in the beginning.
Yeah, well, it's not empty; it's an empty array.
It's an empty array in the beginning. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna pass modules down to our component.
Return modules.
All right. So now here we have a property called modules, right? Do we agree? Because this maps state to props, and then when we return here, it means this has properties. So let's go back to the module simulator just so you'll see here. We didn't mount it yet. All right, so let's, just a sec. I know you have questions. All right, so just a sec. And let's first, inside index.js here, let's mount this. All right, so let's do module list. All right. And here import module list from component module list. All right. So now let's refresh this. And I just want to show you what this did, all right? All right, so let's see what the issue is here. Cannot resolve directory. All right, so module list presenter, we have a style that we don't really need, so we're going to refresh. Let's see, the app is recompiling. Let's see if we're good now. All right, it seems that we're not. All right, so again, module list, we don't need the actions. So refresh, let's see if we're golden now. We should be, we are, all right? So now if we go back to our app here, this is our component, this is the module list here.
Right.
So you see module list, and it has a property called modules, which is an array with length of 0. Right? So now, where is this coming from? This is coming from the state, which has a modules, which inside of it has modules, which is an empty array. So when I map state to modules here, map state to props, sorry, I declare a constant called modules, and it's coming from state.modules. All right, so this will be this, var modules equals state dot modules. Right? I know it's weird, like the naming here, but
I get this far.
Right, we get this far, and then the component itself. So module list presenter, we're just like referencing it here.
So what I don't get is how did these two files interact with each other again?
So this references this.
Which reference which?
Here. So import module list from presenter.
Okay. So the index.js reference the presenter.
Yeah.
.js.
And the presenter does not reference index, no.
So in the presenter.js, we declare modules equals to this properties, right?
Yep.
And then we return the div itself, modules.length. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So just so I want to show you something. All right. So this is 0. All right.
Okay.
Sorry, I keep doing that. All right. So class name. So this is 0. It means we don't have any modules.
Yeah.
But now I want to show you something. All right. So region ID, current date is 09/30/2016. No tribes. Time is 01/26 p.m. and day of week is 5. When we submit this, we have 8 modules.
Okay, I see. So once we got the modules back, right?
Once we get the modules back,
we save it to the state.
This is being triggered again. and it's map state to props, and now this is full, all right?
Yes.
And modules is 8 modules, which we got.
Return modules, and then okay. So now you pass it.
And now it's here in the props, all right?
Now you pass it back to the
And we have modules.length, and now we can do something interesting. We can do something modules.map, all right? And then we have module, all right? And then we can do draw module with the module, all right?
But when does map state props
So we can do, just a sec. So P, and then module, what we have, name?
Yeah.
We have name?
Yeah, probably.
All right, so let's see. Come on. All right, so refresh. Come on. All right. All right, cool. We have name, you sure? Oh, it should have a unique key. All right, so key equals module ID. All right, submit. What happened? All right, we don't have a name. Why are you telling me that we have a name?
Title.
It's title, right?
Yeah.
Title. So.
Module.title.
No, I think we have module ID.
Yeah.
We have data. Anyway.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay,
so now we see the modules here: lunch spots, event this week, get caffeinated.
Yeah, that's I get. Yeah, that's fantastic. When does now the point I'm trying to get to is when does map state to props gets triggered?
It gets triggered every time there is a change to the state.
Okay, so it gets triggered whenever the state object is changed.
Yep.
So this is also part of the Redux API lifecycle. Basically, it's an automated process.
What do you mean? Yeah, it's part of the Redux stack, right?
It's part of the Redux.
That's what Redux gives you.
It's kind of like an Ajax, right? It's like, oh, whenever the object change, like make an Ajax call to like.
Well, you have to think about it as a life cycle, right? Once the cycle changes, once the state changes, all the components are getting notified.
Yes, all the components are getting notified. But in this case, how do we decide which component we notify?
We notify every one of them.
So so we still haven't touched like the store and the subscription to the store.
We don't need to subscribe. Well, look. So wait, just a sec. We have a couple of questions here.
Okay, let's answer.
So Octacat, if modulelist would need async data, where would that happen? Would index.js have component deep mount to invoke API call? Yeah. So if you need the data right when the module is loaded, let's say you have a page, and when the page is loaded, you call the API call. Then yeah, the component did mount. We would call the same function that the submit called. You can see. I will show you like an example here. So code Gogobot. Where did I call it? Map? No. Gogobot client, and then src components list page index, and then list page presenter, and you can see here on component this component did mount, I'm calling this dot on first load, which will basically go and grab everything from the database and populate the list. So yeah, component did mount is the appropriate place. Well, in this case, index does need to be connected because the function you call for the API call is an action, right? So you need to somehow have the action as a reference, so it needs to be a connected component. Just because it needs the dispatch function. Otherwise, it doesn't really need to be a connected component. But anyway, anything that is calling Redux, whether it's subscribing to the state or not, is a connected component in my book. Um, and Paragon Chewy asked, how would you go about learning the full stack with React? Well, I'm not really sure what you mean. Whether you mean like one of the frameworks like Redux, or you mean something else. So if you can clarify your question, I will do my best to answer. And Octocat, no problem. This is why we're doing this, exactly for questions like this, and exactly for people like you. All right, so
So, can I go back?
yeah, but I think you're being confused here. The thing is that you do not subscribe to the state, and you don't connect to the state, right?
So when the state changes, you're saying that every component is notified.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to show you. I want to show you this happening.
so that means like
Wait, let me show you that's happening. Okay. So I'm gonna do React here, and I'm going to trace React updates. And when I submit this, all right, you see this?
Yeah.
This is getting re-rendered.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now the reason this is getting re-rendered is because it cares about a part of the state.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? If this didn't care about the part of the state, it would not get re-rendered. All right, so this makes it care about the part.
Oh, so that if it's referenced in, if the state.modules is referenced in that method, so that means can you go back? So,
yeah.
So it means that map state to proc gets called in every single module.
Yeah.
That's how it notified every single module about the state
Yeah.
changes. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I get it too.
All right, so 09, 30, let's do it again, 2016, not 2017 yet. I mean the future, and then tribes is something, time is 1:33 p.m. And you see, look at this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the state changes.
All right. So day of week is 5, and then we're gonna submit, right? And then now only this cares. But now you see this, and now because this changed, I wanted to look at something really carefully, right? Because this component changed, it changed the parent component, and because the parent component changed, all the child components changed as well.
How does the child component change?
Because the parent component changed.
Change? What did they change?
Doesn't matter.
But
anything.
It
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah. So you really need to pick and choose, and we're gonna go into it when we develop, more complex app. But you really need to pick and choose when you update your component, right? So there is a function called component will update, which returns true by default. But we're gonna go into that, in later things.
But what is okay? Answer that question first.
In regards to my question, index would return module list in render, and index would be passed as parameter to connect. Well, again, the question is whether you separate your files into index and presenter. You most certainly don't have to. You can have it as one index.js file and just like have the presentation layer and the connection layer in the same file. I just like to separate them. I like the presentation layer to be, completely, completely separate from the communication layer. This way, I know that all I need to do is call properties, and everything works. And this way, if I need a storybook and if I need to show people how I render this, I can just render the component without rendering the index section of it. I think I answered your question. If not, then feel free to ask again.
So what is the store and subscription? Like how does that, is that concept like a totally different thing?
Well, you don't need to subscribe. I mean, this subscribe to the store.
Where
Just
is
like
the store? The store is the state?
the state is the store, yeah.
But in situations, I mean, maybe this is too small for it, but like the store folder, is it like another object that?
The stores folder is nothing. I mean, all it does is just configure the stores.
Because
Right?
that picture, that image Can you go
Oh
back
yeah,
to the
yeah,
image?
yeah. To this image.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
All
I'm
right. So
referring
let's.
to.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
like we're trying to like.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Reducer, store. What is the store?
So reducer returns a new state, and the
Exactly.
state is stored. So the store is nothing. All right. You don't need to reference the store. When the view needs something, it references the state.
Is the store and the state is the same thing? I mean, it's just another name
Look,
for the
you,
state.
you just need to. It's like, is the database and the table the same thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so it's
the,
referencing the same thing.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
store is not
When you say the state dot modules, it's like referencing a table in the state database, and the state database is stored somewhere.
Okay, so the state is the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's what I'm confused to. And the subscription is just like
It's
you got
this.
okay, is this because you
This.
by referencing
Yeah.
that state in our map state to
Mm.
props,
Mm.
that means we're subscribing
Yeah.
to the store.
Exactly.
Okay, now I get it. So
Exactly.
now I get it.
Exactly. And
Okay, very good.
yeah. So now
Very good.
inside module lists here, what module list presenter here? Inside module list now here, let's do draw module, and then we get a module here, and then here we'll do this dot draw module, and we get a module here. All right, and now here we can do src components module list, and then I can have an item.js here, simple comp, and then this will be item. All right, and then const module props. All right, and this will be div class name equals module item. All right, and come on, and then here we'll have like a paragraph with the module dot title, right? And then here we're going to do import item from item, and
This is another component?
Yeah, this is another component
Called item.js?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then item
Okay, I see.
return item module equals module. All right, so let's save this.
This is a presentation of this is
Yeah, this is the
component.
presentation of the
component.
module. All right, so let's do this submit. What's going on? This dot draw module network. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. So we have row, and then nothing happens. All right, so let's refresh here. All right, so again, let's try this again. So 2, current date is 09/30/2016. I'm sick of typing this. Time is 1:40 p.m. and day is 5. All right, so what happened here? Why didn't this work? So React, let's see, Redux, module received, and then modules. Right, so, oh, this should be this. Alright, draw module, and then we return item, and then module. Alright, now it's fine. Alright?
Fantastic.
Alright, cool. So here we still need key module dot title. Alright.
Why do we set the key? Because it needs a unique key.
It needs a key for everything that is being iterated on.
Okay.
It needs a unique key. That's how React knows whether this this component has been re-rendered or not. All right. And now what I want you to do, and you have the keyboard there. All right. What I want you to do is, if we look back at our thing, we have the module thingy here,
Yeah.
which is just like the module URL, right?
Yeah.
But what I want you to do is I want you to have this as a text area, right? If we look at our module here, no, this is not a good way to look at it. Let's look at the network, okay? So if we look at current, we have the module, and inside the module we have data,
Yeah.
right? So, and inside data we have request, and inside request we have params.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
So what I want you to do is I want you to have these params as a JSON inside a text input.
Okay. Inside the text input?
Yeah, just like create a text input here, input type equals text area, all right? And just have this as a JSON inside. You have the module here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you a hint. You don't need to touch anything but this component. All right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Oh, this is Vim, so
Yeah, I'm gonna
just all right. So just go ahead and type now.
Let's see. What is the input tag?
Yeah. Don't stress it out.
I know.
We're just streaming to, I don't know, thousands of people.
Module dot. What is it? Module dot data. Can we look at the?
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead and look at it in Chrome.
Okay, let's see.
So it's module.data.request.
Params.
Yep.
Where is it? This module.data dot in wait.
Request.
Request dot params.
Yeah.
This is JSON already, I think. So.
Well, it's not JSON because it's been. It is
JSON, I think.
No, it's been parsed to an object. This will be an object. All right, go ahead, do this.
Let's see.
So let's
see.
do this. So input type equals text area, right?
Yeah.
And then this inside the text area.
Let's see what it look like right now.
All right, so let's see.
Input is a void.
Input is a void element, so it should be. Come on. Text area. All right. Text area. All right, so let's see.
Can I read
this?
Type?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to do?
No, nothing.
Oh, come on. I'm sick of typing this. All right, 09/30/2016. Drive nothing. 1:44 p.m. Day of week 5. Submit. All right, you see, object.
Okay, yeah. So, well, then we need to do like JavaScript. I don't know, remember the
Right,
JSON dot parse something
yeah,
like
so
that.
JSON dot stringify.
Stringify, yeah, something like that.
All right, so JSON dot stringify,
Let's see.
and then save this. We have JSON.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so now let's just make it look nicer. Bootstrap form text area. I never know the class. All right, text area, form control. So here, class name equals form control, and rows equals 5. I don't know, something, all right? So let's see this. Yep.
Oh, interesting.
So we have launch spots, event this week, get caffeinated, they have everything they need. All right?
Let's see what else we need to expose. Maybe let's just expose everything. I mean.
Yeah, but let's just now, go back to the, product manager or someone that requested this and see if what else they need. There's no reason for us to keep adding stuff here. You know what I mean? Like we're adding no value right now.
Can I see the? let's see the data. Let's go to the Redux.
All right. So lamp spots. Let's make this.
They need the URL for sure, right? Like, because
All
they
right.
need the
So let's.
endpoint and URL for sure. That I know.
All right. So let's do this. Input. Um, where is the form field? All right. So input type equals text, and then default value equals module dot request dot. What is this? Where is the current in the network? Here. So module
Okay, so they
dot
need the
data
data
dot request dot endpoint.
dot endpoint.
No.
No. Endpoint it is.
No, it's not endpoint. It's request
It's
and
yeah, exactly.
no, it's request URL.
Okay, URL is probably is what they need for sure.
Yeah, request URL dot URL. All right, so refresh this and class name equals form control.
Cannot read the property.
No, that's fine. Just refresh.
Type
2093016 time 1:48 p.m. day of week 5. Submit. Alright, so something happened. So module.request.url. Oh. Let's see. So console cannot read property URL of undefined. So module.data.request. All right. So submit. All right.
there we go. Okay.
All right. So we have the URL, we have the JSON, and we
I
have
think
our app
that's
finished.
fantastic. I think that's a good start. Let's let me tinker on that. You know, would you upload it to the GitHub?
Yeah, we're gonna upload it to GitHub, no problem.
So in order for this to work, well, we still need to like figure out a way to call this from Heroku.
Why? We're not working on Heroku.
What the way we're gonna deploy it to?
We're just gonna have a Docker container, something simple like we have the matching tool. It's gonna have a URL.
Okay, yeah, I know, but like I just so in the future, if I work on it.
Yeah, in one of our internal clusters, we're gonna upload it as a Docker container, and
Let's see if I make some changes.
yeah,
I need to.
we'll have like a deploy script and something. I mean,